sure to check out Agelessgeeks for your figures and collectibles. This video and YouTube channel is rated PG-13, so that means this channel is not for anyone under the age of 13.
So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Dororo here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Max Factory Figma HYAKKIMARU. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at the box. So as you can see here, HYAKKIMARU is included in the basic style box here when it comes to Figma. So we do get the window right there on the front of the box. On the top does say Max Factory, warning, blah blah blah. On the bottom says Figma HYAKKIMARU, and some symbols that I don't know. And then there's the bottom of the box there. Same thing on the top of the box. The one side does have a dope image of the figure. Same thing on the other side of the box. And then the back does show some really dope poses you can get the figure into, along with some of the accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure able to take a closer look at this character who had one of the most screwed up backstories that I've ever seen in anime. Almost as bad as Berserk. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look at HYAKKIMARU here, and I think Max Factory did an exceptional job with this figure. This thing turned out really awesome, man. This is a great series too. If you've never seen it, Dororo, highly recommend checking it out if you have not. It's a pretty messed up story as well, so be prepared when you watch it. But the hair sculpt and the face sculpts I think look great, especially the hair. I really dig the way that turned out. Very anime-ish looking, which it should, because he is a character from anime. And I do like how they made the ponytail on a ball hinge, so you can articulate that around, which is definitely cool. Face sculpts look great as well, very clean paint on them. It does look like HYAKKIMARU from the anime, and the sculpt of the hair just looks really nice, as you can see there, even on the back as well. And you can put it so the hair is just down, so do like when they make ponytails articulated like that, so you can pose it around. The torso here, some people might not like that his robe on his torso is in a few different pieces. It does help with the articulation, but sometimes when you move the arm in, see what I mean? It does something like that, so you got to kind of like finagle it around and try to get it to stay down in there. But some people might not like how they did that. I think they did that so you can use the articulation more, so that will happen over there. Same with on this piece, and sometimes these pieces at the bottom as well. But they are a soft, rubbery type plastic. The sculpt of them are really well done. You can see his robe has like a tattered look to it, so it looks worn and everything. Then there's the back. We have those symbols on there. The peg hole for the stand there, and you can see this is split down here as well. And then the sleeves here, the sleeves turned out pretty good. You can see they're all tattered, sculpted wrinkles and everything. But I dig the way those turned out, these sleeves. And then you can see his arms as well, with the blades coming out where his elbow would be, because he does have blades come out of his arms. And the wrappings look pretty cool too. Dig the way those turned out also. And then we do get a sword and a sheath here, which you can unpeg and take off if you want to. But this turned out pretty nice too. Nice sculpt and paint detail on that. And then the lower portion of the robe turned out pretty good too. We do get the tie going around here, and it is a soft, rubbery type plastic, as you can see there. Nice sculpt detail to that. Same with the lower portion of the robe. It's all tattered and torn and stuff. And it is, what, 1, 2, 3 pieces. And then he does have on his samurai underwear there. And then the legs here turned out pretty good too. One of them, I believe, is a real leg, while the other one's still his fake leg, because he's technically a doll. You need to watch the series, because throughout the series he gets his body parts back. But I'm pretty sure one of these legs is real and the other one's fake. This one looks fake and this one looks real, but in the promo images they have the blade coming out of the right leg here, so I don't know if that's his real leg. I don't know, they both might be fake legs. I'm not sure which version this is of HYAKKIMARU, but like I said, the legs turned out fine. We do get the wrappings there as well, which look pretty good. Very clean paintwork on this figure as well. And then the feet turned out fine there too. They're not actual feet. I guess they're both fake legs maybe, because he has the fake feet there on the bottom of them. Not too much going on. And since he just has feet, some poses might be troublesome to get him to balance, but you can balance him out and you will be able to get him to stand. But Like I said, since he just has feet and doesn't have boots or shoes, he's a little more difficult to stand on his own. But overall, I think Max Factory did a really nice job with this figure, and I actually like this one a lot more than I thought I was going to like it. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, Hyakimaru is included with a bunch of really cool stuff. So what we do get first and foremost, we do get the Figma bag here in case you want to store your accessories in there, and then we do of course get the Figma stand. So we do have the base, the arm, and then we do have the extension peg right there, and you can peg this right into the figure's back. So we do get that stuff, and then we do get 3 interchangeable faces and 2 interchangeable front hair pieces. So for the interchangeable hair pieces, on the left we do get the regular one, which is the one that does come on the figure out of the packaging, which covers like the right side of his face and his eye a bit. And then on the right we do get the more wavy, or wind blowing around the hair, front hair sculpt piece. And that one's for like when he's jumping around, or if you want to make it look like his hair is blowing in the wind with the ponytail and stuff, you could use that hair sculpt piece as well. And those are pretty simple to swap out. I'll show you how to do that shortly. Then for the faces, starting on the left, we do get the basic stern face, which is the one that does come on the figure out of the packaging that we are ready to take a look at. And then in the middle, we do get another like basic stern type look. His mouth is open and that arm is pegged in, so you can unpeg that. And the arm turned out really nice. I'll show you how to use the prosthetic arms shortly. But they did a good job with both those faces. Then finally, all the way on the right, we get a very intense, yelling, screaming face sculpt. And I'm really glad they also included that with Hyakimaru, because he does have his moments where he goes a bit crazy. And they did a great job with that face sculpt as well. And I'll show you how to swap all the faces and the hair pieces right now quickly. And swapping the faces and the hair is pretty basic when it comes to Figma. So all you do is just pull off the front of the hair piece, same thing with the face, and then take whichever face you'd like to put on. And with this face here that has the arm and the mouth, you can't use the regular hair piece because this will keep knocking the hand off. So you have to use the wavy front hair piece. I mean, it's going to knock it off, but you just peg it back in. And see what I mean, how it's just pegged in there? He has a peg in his mouth, and you just peg the hand on there. Or the arm on there in case it falls off. But that easy to swap the hair piece and the faces. We do get that stuff. And then we also get another half of an arm with a hand holding onto it. And I'll show you how to use that one with the other arm that he's biting onto. And then we do get his 2 arm blades. We do get his leg blade. And then we do get his regular sword. And then we do, of course, get the sheath with the sword handle in it. That does come pegged on the figure. So we do get the other piece of his arm with one of his hands holding onto it. Come on, focus, camera. And you could use this one with the other arm that he's biting down onto, because with that one you could peg this hand onto it, so it looks like he took off both his arms and he's using his arm blades. And I'll show you how to use that shortly. But this turned out really nice. It does have a extra wrist peg on it as well. So you do get a total of 4 wrist pegs with the figure. So say you break one of the ones on his regular arms, you still have this one and that one down there. So you do get some extra wrist joints. So we do get that, and then we do get his 2 arm blades, and they are identical. And these turned out pretty damn dope, man. I love the way the sword turned out. I like how it's silver on the blade and the more of a gunmetal gray on the rest of the blade. And very clean paintwork on the arm piece as well. Pretty cool looking. And these are really easy to swap out. I'll show you how to do that shortly. Then we do get his leg sword here. And this also turned out really nice. I like the way they did the swords with the silver on the sharp edge and then the gunmetal on the dull edge there. And then the wrappings look pretty cool. That's holding up the sword there that's connected into his doll-like leg there. Really nice paint sculpt work on that. And this is really also very simple to swap out as well. And then we do get the regular sword, and then as we saw before, we do have the sheath with the sword handle in it. And the sheath, like I said, turned out fine. The sword turned out really nice too. Once again, we get that silver on the sharp edge of the blade, and then that gunmetal grayish type color on the dull
part of the blade. The cross guard looks really good, and then the wrappings for the handle looks pretty cool too. So I like that not only he has his limb swords, but he also does have his regular sword as well. And I'll show you how to get on his arm and leg blades right now. And the way you get the arm swords and the leg swords on is pretty simple. And also we have this piece here where the hand's holding on to the other arm. So what you do with that, you take this arm here that he's biting onto and peg this hand onto there like so. And then you just peg this right back in there. It's probably going to fall out while I'm putting the swords on his arms though. But that is how you could use both those prosthetic arms when he does not have them on his body there. Now, and I forgot to mention, you could also peg this hand where he's gripping onto his prosthetic arm with his regular arm if you wanted to also. The way you get the prosthetic arms off and get the bladed arms on, all you do is just pull the arm off the joint like so. And you could use either one for either arm, it really doesn't matter. And then all you do is just peg that in like so. Then you have his arm blades there, and you do the same thing with the other arm as well. And then same thing goes for the leg sword. Just pull the leg off like so, and then just peg the leg sword on there. But you're not going to be able to have him stand like that. You got to put him in like a kicking type pose or something like that in order to use this accessory there. So we do get all that awesome stuff. And then we finally get 6 alternate hands. And then we do get the hand rack as well. And starting on the left there, we do get a pair of fists, of course, which do come on the figure out of the packaging. And you can see the hand rack there as well. Then in the middle, we do get a pair of gripping hands, which is meant for him to grip onto his sword, of course. And then finally on the left, we do get a pair of open palm type hands. And we get some great sculpt and paint detail throughout all 6 hands. And they are very simple to swap out as well. And like what Daredevil19 always says, that is definitely a good thing, because you don't want to risk breaking a wrist joint on your new HYAKKIMARU Figma figure. But anyway, that is all the awesome accessories included with HYAKKIMARU. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of HYAKKIMARU to the very top of his hair. Well, to the top of his head, it looks like he's around 5.5 inches tall. Then to the very top of his hair, it looks like he's around 5 inches and 3/4 of an inch tall. And then here he is compared to the Dasen model Saitama, the Dasen model Kenshin Himura, the SH Figure Arts Kakashi, and the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified series Snake Eyes. And as you can see, HYAKKIMARU is a bit smaller compared to your basic 6-inch scale figures. He's more like 6.5-inch scale, but Saitama is also 6-inch scale. But Figma has always been a bit smaller compared to other 6-inch scale figure lines. And then here he is compared to the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Midoriya, the Figma Todoroki, the Figma Genos, and the Figma Griffith, aka the biggest POS of all time. And as you can see, HYAKKIMARU does scale much better with other Figma figures. And then here he is compared to the Storm Collectibles Sector, the Marvel Legends Retro Series Deadpool, the Mafex Justice League Batman, and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. And then here he is compared to the SH Figure Arts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and HYAKKIMARU here has some really nice movement. So as I mentioned, the ponytail is on a ball hinge, so you can swivel it, and it does hinge up and down as well. So I do like that they made that articulated. We do get 2 joints at the neck here. So with both joints, you can get them to look pretty much all the way down, which is awesome. If you move the hair out the way, both joints going up, looks up about that much. You do get pretty good pivot at the upper neck. It also does swivel. The lower neck has slight pivot, and it also does slightly swivel as well. So you do get some pretty good movement at both those joints there. This is just connected with a peg, so that can swivel a little bit. And then we do get a torso joint and a waist joint, and combining both those joints, HYAKKIMARU goes forward about that much. And then both joints going back, you do see a gap though
in the torso, so you might not want to go back that far, but he can go back about that much. And then both joints with pivot, combining both of them, it isn't too bad. But as you can see, the more you articulate them, the more this robe piece on the torso looks more out of proportion, you know what I mean? It looks more awkward. So when you pose them around, you're just gonna have to work with this robe piece so it doesn't look too bad there. Then you do get swivel at the waist, and then swivel at the torso as well. And Jesus, I ripped the whole damn thing open. So you do have decent movement there. The robe piece just looks odd in certain poses. Now for the arms here, we do get a very nice circular motion out of the shoulder right there. And then the arms, see what I mean? When you bring the arm up more, this piece is going to keep flipping upwards. So try to tuck it in, don't force it too much, or that piece is going to pop right out again. But it can go a little more than 90 degrees, but without that piece popping out, it goes about 90 degrees. Then the arms do go up and down. You don't have true bicep swivel. You will have to use it at the shoulder joint, or you can use it at the single jointed elbow that does bend in all the way. Then the joint does swivel where it connects into the bicep, and a little bit where it connects into the forearm there. And then for the wrists, we do get a ball hinge, so it does swivel where it connects into the hand and the arm there, and then it does hinge back and forth as well. Now for the legs here, the robe piece, since it is in 3 different pieces, it doesn't really restrict the leg movement at all, as you can see there, so he can definitely kick forward a bit more than 90 degrees. Goes to the back a tiny bit, can probably go more, but the robe is restricting it a little bit. Let's see if he can Jean-Claude Van Damme it here. And Hyakimaru can Van Damme it, so definitely big plus for that. And you can see he has a upper thigh swivel cut there, so you get nice swivel at the upper thigh. Then you do have these single jointed knees that pretty much bend back all the way, and that joint doesn't really swivel where it connects into the upper or lower leg all that much. And then the ankles here, they do swivel, hinge up extremely well, hinge down really well, and then the ankle pivot is also very well done as well. And then you do get a nice toe hinge, which kind of gets loose the more it goes upward, which is a little odd. But overall, the articulation on Hyakimaru here is very well done, actually. There is some annoying things with the robe when you articulate the torso or the arms, but you just got to work with it so the robe doesn't look all out of proportion. You just got to mess around with the figure when you put him in certain poses, but you're going to be able to get him in a bunch of really cool Hyakimaru-ish like poses, and I'm about to show you some of those poses right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the Figma Hyakimaru. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure with detail, I'd give it a 9.5. Articulation, I'd give it an even 9. Accessories, I'd give it a 10. And then the overall quality, I would give a 9.5. If you would like to know the price more to buy this figure, I did have mine imported from Japan, but my buddy from Agelessgeeks should be getting this in stock any day now, so you can check out Agelessgeeks.com, and when you check out, use code name Daredevil, and you will get yourself a bit of a discount. If you can't find something on their website, I do highly recommend going through their Instagram or Facebook page. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it, but thanks for watching. I will see you later. I don't see any paint issues or anything. And then, damn that fridge, damn it to hell. And starting all the way on the right there, we do get a pair of fists, of course, which do come on the figure. Stop messing up camera and just focus.
Alright, so as I'm recording this review, I went to grab Guts off the shelf for the height comparisons, and look who he knocked over. He knocked over Kakashi. Bad Guts. That's not Griffith. Just because Kakashi has white hair, like someone else that you hate, doesn't mean that he's Griffith.